I just finally pulled the plug, and last night around 10 p.m. I decided to order a Tesla Model Y, and in fact I just got the notification saying that it's basically ready for me to deliver it, to basically go and pick it up at the location. So I've been thinking about getting one for I think the last 6 to 8 months, and after being thinking about the model, I wanted to get a Model 3, but I thought it was too small. Then the Model Y is one that I think is going to fit my family. We have a family of 4, so I think having something much bigger, it's key for me. So the model that I got was about $57,000. So that was another hard decision for me to make, to justify that amount of money for a car. And to be honest, I do a lot of tech videos in another channel. So my justification there is, yeah, I do need a Tesla so that I can stay up to date. Perhaps I can teach about it in these other channels. So I think overall, I'm really excited. The process of getting this car was actually pretty straightforward and one of the best onboarding experiences. I also got another car for my wife, which is also an electrical car. So I'm really curious to compare how that car does in comparison to this Model Y 2023. So it's really interesting because we went from having a gas for so many years, I think 20 years of my life that I've been driving, to now having something electrical, which when I was test driving the Model Y yesterday, I was like, does this thing have you can't even feel it. Like, does it have anything in it? Especially because it's so minimalistic on the panels and you cannot hear anything when you turn it on. It's just very quiet. So that was one of the things that I like. The model that I got has the 20-inch wheels. I also wanted to get it in black, the white interior. So when I went to the dealership yesterday, I asked the guy if I was able to basically create an order for the way that I wanted. I wanted only one that has, would fit 5 people. And he's like, well, we can do one, but it would take about 1 month to 2 months. And I'm like, that's going to take a while. And obviously the excitement, the person that is excited inside of me wanted to get it right away. So he's like, well, maybe you should check the inventory. So I checked the inventory and I was able to find one that was 7 seats. So that didn't really excite me because I was going to be losing some space on the back to put some of the equipment that I use. But then started watching some reviews and it actually is pretty cool because you can bring those seats down and then you still have all the space on the back. And so overall, I think that was a good decision. So I'm really excited to show you guys how the delivery process works, which is why I'm making this video. So I just got a notification. That's why I was holding my phone to basically schedule a delivery. So last night around 10 p.m., I went through the entire process. They asked me for registration, my driver license, my current insurance. They also went through a very easy process to get approval. So I'm gonna be doing a lease on that car. So it was really crazy how easy and fast that was after I paid that $249 or something like that you have to pay to do a reservation. So I think that process tells a lot about Tesla and how you order cars now in today versus how you had to do it in the past, where you had to go to a dealership, talk to so many people, sign a bunch of documents. I think I need to sign a document, but I don't know that the process. I don't think the process is that in detail. I think it's just one form that I'm going to have to sign. So now what I have to do is I have to basically just schedule delivery. So I'm gonna do that through my phone and then I'll meet you guys at the dealership and I'll walk you through the entire process. All right guys, today is the day we are going into the Tesla dealership. So really looking forward to checking out the entire process of the delivery day. So right now what I'm looking for is I'm gonna be checking all the details about the car. We're supposed to be inspecting the car outside, looking to see if we have any scratches, any details on the tires. So I'll be going around. So the entire process was really straightforward. The registration that you do on the mobile phone is really easy to do. Also, if you need to submit the insurance card, that whole process was really easy, which I was surprised in compared to other different processes in other dealerships. So just as an example, we got this car not too long ago and we had to sign dozens of forms. So this was all done in the mobile phone. So today is the day to basically check out, make sure that there are no, there are no details, there's no scratches, and also just signing one form. So the process is supposed to take from 10 to 15 minutes. So really excited to see if that's, that's the case. I also have my wife here because we're gonna be checking out to make sure that there's no details on the car. So I'm gonna check everything. I'm gonna check the inside, I'm gonna check the outside. We're gonna open the trunk, open the doors, make sure everything opens and closes. So that's what I'm looking for. So right now we have to drive, I think about 10 to 15 miles to the Tesla dealership. So really hyped. This is my, my first electric car. This one is my wife's, so it's not considered my own car yet, and I'll be using it, but I'm more looking into how the Tesla technology compares to this car.
You will have reached your destination area.
And then I'll take signature right there. Okay, that's it. Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, so this is the time to check and make sure that the delivery looks great. So I'm gonna be looking for different details on the car, especially on the headlights. Make sure that the light's not coming, it's positioned correctly. There's really no major details on the paint that I can see so far. So the car looks great. So I think it's just going around and making sure that everything looks great before I have to, otherwise you would have to schedule an appointment and get it fixed if you don't cut those type of things today. So headlights look beautiful. The logo, there's like a little bit of a, let's see. Okay, so that's just a little bit of dirt. So that looks okay. It looks good. So also here are the cameras for the autopilot, and all of that looks great. So a couple of things to check though is to make sure that the doors open and close, and this car is beautiful. There's really no other words to describe it. So make sure that it opens and closes correctly, and looks like this is great. And make sure that this one as well. So this is good. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure there's like really no scratches, and all of that looks good. So this one is a dual motor, and that's the one that I ended up getting. It gives you the long range, which is about 330 miles. So also this one, if you want to open it, let's see if I can get it open. Just make sure that it opens all the way. Just again, checking for details. There's also a button right here that you can use if you want to go ahead and close it. So it's a pretty nice trunk space, and this one is supposed to be the 7-seater, which to be honest, yeah, it is the 7-seater. You guys can see here that the seats on the back are completely down, so if I wanted to bring them back, I can bring them back. And I think I have to go up front to be able to do that, so I'll be doing that later. But that looks good so far. Now on this side, this is gonna be for the charging. So whenever you need to charge on a Tesla supercharger, that's basically where that's gonna be. So these are just making sure that it opens and closes correctly. So I think you just have to push it, opens. I noticed some people were saying that this sometimes doesn't open correctly, but this one looks, it's working great. I'm just gonna try all the doors. Make sure that you push it towards that wider area. And this door is fine. So when I got the car, it has about 15 miles on the odometer. So that's something else that I'm gonna be checking as well. And it looks great for the most part. I'm really excited about it. This camera right here is so when you want to open the car, there is a camera here that also is going to help you in detecting the key. So basically you grab your key, which I can just take out and then basically scan it, and that will open the car. In fact, I need to open this up. Let me see here. And it comes with two different keys, so it's already wrapped in a little plastic here. and that is the nice key. For the most part, the salesperson was saying that you don't really need to use the key because we're going to be using the actual app. But here's the key. You basically come in and slide it, and that will open the car. So more likely I'll give one key for my wife and then one key for myself, just in case of, you know, an emergency. All right, so let's just look inside and make sure that everything looks great. And I am about 6 feet tall, so I fit perfectly in this seat. So, and it looks, I'm comparing this with the EQE, which I'll do another video about it. That one drives a lot different than this one, and I'll tell you more about it. But this one feels pretty stiff, and it feels like you have a lot more control on this car. And it's also faster. I did a test drive before with this car, and it was crazy the acceleration that I had versus, you know, using the EQE. So a couple of things in here just to make sure. I'm just gonna try to open some of these and make sure that it opens and closes. We have here a cup holder, and then there's also here another area that we can also open. Everything looks great. Here are the mirrors. Yeah, so everything looks great. I'm really excited to test it out. And then just make sure that there's no stains on the seats. I think it looks good. So I think for the most part, I'm pretty happy. Again, this is the long range dual motor 7-seater. So the last thing that I want to show you is the 7-seat on this car. So let's come over here. So you can go ahead and basically press this button and you can slide it back forward and then slide it back. And then also here on the seats on the back. So here's the 7-seater. And as soon as you basically bring it back to me, it basically snaps. So we have 2 kids. One of them is 7 and then the other one is a 10-year-old. So I'm really curious to see how they fit in this car. And then, so more likely, this is what we're gonna be using a lot for them. And then maybe keeping the middle row down so that they get a little more space. They're really excited about this, and I'm really excited to see their reactions when they see this car. So it's gonna go ahead and close everything. Let's get everything back as it was. Just make sure that it all closes. So another thing that I didn't show you is the trunk. So let's just go ahead and check out, just make sure that everything opens. And you got, I mean, plenty of space in here. I'm gonna be putting some of my camera equipment in here and maybe some of the backpacks when we travel. And one thing that I noticed is make sure that this closes properly. Normally you don't want to touch the Tesla logo. You want to use both of your hands around. That's what I was looking at the manual. And then basically just push it down. And if you want to open it up, you can use the app on the phone. Unfortunately, I'm recording with that app, so I can't just show you, but you can also do it on the screen that is inside the car. But that's about it. Really excited about it. I'll show you more videos as I get more into the Tesla Model Y. Thank you, guys.